Welcome to this video for Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, and we're going to be looking at the switch function. So the switch function is a really cool function that you can use if you are trying to compare a cell's value with a whole range of possible options. So instead of using an if statement or a nested if or even the if statement, the switch function can be really useful, especially if you're looking at one particular cell that's not really in a range. So let's go have a look at how we can use the switch function. So before we get into the switch function, let's look at the structure of the function. So we say equals switch, and then we give it the value or the cell that we are going to be looking at, and then we're going to compare it to the first match. If that is a match with whatever values in that parameter, then it will return whatever's over here. If it's not a match, it will look at this option and return that, and then look at that option, look at that. And last but not least, there's a final parameter which you can put in as what must happen if you do not find any matches. So that means there's nothing to return, then this is the default value or text that you want to be returned. So to really understand, let's try an example of that. So let's start off with here. We've got some data about some students, and we can see that they are in a house, either house 1, 2, or 3. And here we can see the names of the house. So what we can do over here to determine the name of the house, we could have used an if statement, but because there are 3 options, it would probably have to be a nested if statement. But we can actually do it a lot easier because we're comparing one value and seeing if it matches exactly with those values. The key point here is you want to find an exact match. So let's try it. We're going to say equals switch. Now we are going to be looking at cell D6 because that contains the house for Bruce. We are only doing Bruce's house. So we're going to go, okay, in D6, we wanted to refer to a particular value. What is the match that we want? So we wanted to see if D6 matches a 1. If it is a 1, then we want the text tigers, comma. Now we are at our second option, which means if we want D6 is equal to a 2, then we want the text to be rhinos. And then the third option, if we put over here number 3, if it's a 3, then we want it to be sharks. And then we just put whatever the default option is if there's no house. So I'm going to just, in case they accidentally put like a 4 or a 5 there, let's just say no house. So if we look at it, we are looking at cell D6. If it's a 1, display that text. If it's a 2, display that. If it's a 3, display that. If it's none of those options, then no house. If I press enter, you can see that 1 is a tiger. Now if I copy this down, you'll see that it works for all of the houses. And if I change one of them to a really weird number, it'll say no house as the option. Again, you could have done this as well by saying equals switch, and we're referring to cell D6. But now instead of referring to the actual numbers, you could actually refer to the cells. So if it's whatever's in that cell, then display that text. Then whatever's in that cell, display that text. Whatever's in that cell, display that text. And if it's none of them, then display no house. And by doing that, you get the exact same results. What's nice about this is we can actually change the text over here and it will update automatically over there. So it works for values that you put in as is or refers to actual cells, which is great. So let's try another example over here with fees. If the person's a junior, then they're going to have to pay the basic fee. If they are a senior, they're going to have to pay the basic fee plus the senior fee. And if they're a matric, they're going to have to pay the 100,000 plus the senior fee plus the 250. So if we've got that situation, we can say equals switch, and we are looking now at the level. We're looking at whatever's in this block. Now the first match is if they're a junior. If they are a junior, so I'm looking to see if it matches the text junior. So if C6 is equal to junior, then we only refer to that cell for the fees. However, if it's a senior, make sure that we spell it right, then we're actually going to refer to a formula, which is the sum of these two cells, because it's the basic fee plus the senior fee. And then our last option is if the text is matric, then we want it to take all 3 values. So if it matches with matric, we say the sum of all 3 values. And then we can just say nothing if there is no match. Press enter, and there you can see it does the calculations because senior is both of them. If I scroll it down, you'll notice that it's not working. Why? Because we haven't put absolute cell referencing on these cells, so it doesn't copy down correct. So remember, whenever referring to cells outside of your table, like over here, you tend to refer to absolute cell referencing. So C is inside the table, C6 is there, it's inside the table. But when I come here, when I refer to D1, I don't want it to copy down, so I will press F4 to give it absolute cell referencing. The same with the D1 over here. We'll put absolute cell referencing around the D1 and the D2, and then over here, the D1 and the D3. Just means when we copy it, it always refers to D1 and so on when we copy it down. If I copy that down now, there we go. That's much better. We can see our seniors are 1,500, our juniors are just the 1,000, and our matric is all of them involved. Let's do a couple more examples over here. Here we can see a date. We're going to type in equals weekday of this date, and that date was day 3, which is a Tuesday. So a Sunday is normally a day 1, and Monday is a day 2. That's what weekday returns. Now that we understand that, we could technically do something like this, where we say equals switch, and we're referring to a weekday of this date. Let's pretend we didn't have the formula in there already. And whatever number we get, we're going to match it with one of these. So we can say if it's a 1, then we want to display the text Sunday. If it's a 7, we want to just say the word Saturday. And if it's none of those, then we can say the word weekday. And by doing that, we can see that this is automatically a weekday. If I had to change this day 2 days earlier to the Sunday, you'll see that it would say Sunday. And we could have actually done a few more options where we said equals to the weekday of that cell. And then done all of the options where we said if it's a 1, then make it just the text SUN for Sunday. If it's a 2, then make it MON for Monday. If it's a 3, make it Tuesday. And a 4, make it Wednesday, and so on. So you can go on like that. Let's correct that Wednesday. And let's end it there and just say we're going to, whatever else is there, we can say other. Obviously, you get the idea. You can do it for all of the dates. But by doing that, we can see that this is the 3rd day, which was a Tuesday. If we added one more day onto it, it says Wednesday. If we add one more day onto it, then it goes to other, because we haven't done the other days. So that's really powerful for that as well. Let's look at another quick example that some people don't know about. You can actually use ranges with the switch. So for example, with mark, you would normally use an if statement to say if that mark is greater than or equal to 80, then you get an A, and so on. But you can't really do that with a switch, because a switch compares, if I compare that value, I can't really use ranges. I can't say whether it's greater than or equal to 80, then it must be an A. We can't really do that. It's very difficult to do that type of thing. You'll notice here, it'll give an error if I type in as the other option as fail, because let's say you failed if you didn't get an A, then it gives some sort of error. But you can create a way to get around this if you do want ranges. So to do that, you just say equals true as your expression or your value that you're referring to. And then when you do the values, here is where you do the cell greater than or equal to 80. And what must happen if it's true? Then that must be an A. And then you can keep going like that. So if the cell is greater than or equal to 70, then make it a B. And let's do one more where we say if the cell is greater than or equal to 60, then make it a C. And if it's none of those options, then we say you fail. And so by doing that, you can actually create ranges where if you make that a 78, it's a B. And if I make it 65, it's a C. And if I go below 60, it's a fail. So you can technically do it, but it's not always ideal. I would rather use an if statement for that, but you can do that with your switch function. So just to recap, switch, take in the value that you're looking at, normally just one cell, and say if it matches that option, return that option. If it matches that one, return that one. If it matches that one, return. And you can keep going for 126 options. That's right, 126. And then the last value that you put in is always what must it display if it matches none of them. And there we go. And that is the switch function, which is available on Office 365 as well as 2019. I actually think it's also available on 2016. But yeah, go check it out and go use the switch function. Please support the channel by clicking on that subscribe button and sharing us with your friends. Remember, at Mr. Long IT and Cat also has other videos on Excel, so go check out those playlists. Follow us on TikTok at Mr. Long Education. And remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.